Well guys, it's time to talk about SHAZAM! Fury of the Gods. I saw the film. In case you're wondering, do I like it as much as the first? No, definitely not. It's missing a lot of what made the first one so special and good in my opinion. So if that's all you wanted to hear, there you go. I don't think it's as good, and I honestly think it's kind of bad. So again, you guys know we don't put scores on anything here. That's not going to change. I'm not going to attach a score to this. It's not going to be like a 6 out of 10 or whatever. But I will quickly talk about some of my thoughts on the film without spoilers. First and foremost, the good. I thought the casting of the villains was great. I mean, the actresses they got, Helen Mirren and her company, are great. They deliver the goods. On the other hand, I think some of the other cast almost felt like they were miscast in this. And I know it's a little weird to say that because largely it's the same cast outside of Mary, but it almost felt like that they were trying to recreate the magic that the cast, the younger cast and the older cast had in the first film, but not understanding what made the cast work together in the first film. And I think that's kind of problematic, and it comes through. Like, they're almost acting like they're trying to act like what they acted like in the first film. Again, if you see the film and hear some of the banter and see it, I think you'll understand what I'm trying to say here. It just comes off as forced. It comes off almost like, at moments, I was watching The Big Bang Theory, but there was no laugh track. That's what some of the dialogue with the characters felt like, at least for the main cast of the SHAZAM family. So for me, that really lacked. On the other hand, I thought that there was a lot of stuff in here that when it sticks the landing, it truly does stick the landing. Even though the plot can get a little convoluted and nonsensical, which again is part for the course for this film and these films, I think this film takes what made the first film special, where it was more personal and you had one villain and they tried to go, well, it's a sequel. You gotta go bigger. You gotta go better. You gotta throw everything at the hero now for this challenge. Unfortunately, it comes off a little too convoluted, and at the same time, there's just so much going on with the CG that honestly, it looks worse in many aspects than the first film, which I honestly found shocking. Like, how did it get worse? There's moments in this where you're watching it and it's not even as good as Superman and Lois on the CW. It's more like earlier seasons of The Flash. Like, I was completely taken out of some of these moments. At the same time, it has a brisk pace, which I think serves the movie well because it hides some of these shortcomings in terms of, some of the things going on that if you logistically think about the plot, you go, wait a second, what? Yeah, it moves brisk enough that you might not be able to catch it, but I was kind of just sitting there and I kind of just quickly jotted down a note and I was like, yeah, that didn't make sense reading it after, the film was done. So there is some issues with that. I will say it was a bold strategy as well to go, you know what, let's not follow up on the first film and a couple of those things we left over and just bring in new original villains. There you go, fight them, sure. Very strange. SHAZAM has plenty of villains, but hey, this is the film you got, right? It's the film that's in front of you. And again, it has plenty of issues, but the biggest thing, again, the takeaway for me was the cast is just not energetic. They feel fake. There was moments where I felt like they felt like that they were acting in a film. You know how sometimes you watch something and the actors in it are told, hey, you're gonna go audition for a movie. So they overact in the scene because they're acting for a fake movie or audition? It felt like that. I was like, I literally like leaned in and I was like, is this a rib? Like, is this intentional? Like, if it turns out this is all intentional and we pull back, this is like some sort of giant multiverse revelation, clap, I'm gonna be blown away. It's not, spoiler alert. It's a very jarring movie. And again, unfortunately, it's not on here anymore because of WB's copyright issues. But you guys know I love the first SHAZAM. It was my favorite comic book film that year. Absolutely loved it. This film, I don't think I'm ever rewatching again, honestly. And I think there's a lot that contributes to this. One, it's not going to matter in the future, I don't think, because the outlook for this film's box office is pretty abysmal. Two, I just don't care about these characters anymore. I don't know what to tell you. They lost the thing that made the first special. And the thing that made the first film special was the fact that it felt like a family coming together and everybody felt genuinely there in the moment. And the banter and everything worked. It was quippy. It didn't have to try to build up a bigger universe. It just kind of was a good comic book movie. This one feels like it was answering to all these different masters, and all these different masters were pulling it in different directions. And the different directions clash against one another. Honestly, I am super disappointed.